Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nintendo Pow Block here on Boss Rush Network. I'm your host, and I'm excited, Eddie V. Joining me is the one, the only bossman himself, Mr. Corey Derrick. Hello, good sir.
Hello. It is the weekend, and I am here, and yeah. Yes.
Corey, the road to PAX East 2025 has begun.
Yeah, and I have 2 events that weekend for work, so TBD on that, I guess. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yes, you give me that look like so much. Yeah, I had to get my hotel stuff together with Cordy, and then get my airplane ticket next month in April. Still need to file my taxes. Lord knows whenever I'll get that back. So I'm like, I need to do this stuff like now and get it done.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just waiting for some of the getting our interview stuff set. Hope Daniel was there, so we could check out Robots at Midnight. Hopefully he has an update.
Is that not out yet? I thought it came out in January.
So it said it, but it's not on. It's nowhere to be found. I don't see it on Steam, and I don't see it on Xbox or anything. So I don't.
Just says coming soon. Okay.
Yeah. So I wonder if it got delayed, or it probably got delayed and stuff.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's there. Hopefully people that I talked to at PAX last year will be there. Hopefully PL Studios will be there and check up on some games, catch up on some progress stuff. Yeah, and just waiting to schedule interviews and stuff like that.
Nice.
But yeah, the road to PAX East begins. The highway to Switch 2 starts in a couple of weeks. Because April 2nd, it's going to be a packed day after watching the presentation, the direct presentation.
Yeah, it's gonna be something. There's a lot going on, so yeah, Switch 2, man. It's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Right around the corner.
Yeah, I know people have been asking, like, what you want for the launch lineup, like a launch game that's out that could come to Switch. I'm just like, at this point in time,
I don't really care.
Right. I'm like, we know the next Mario Kart is going to be there, but I'm just like,
yeah.
As for Nintendo themselves, it's probably going to be some ports or something. But we just do not know what is coming or what we want to see from Nintendo themselves.
Yeah. I mean, look, Nintendo. We'll talk soon because there's some rumors going around now. I think it's a little soon for them to be announcing a new game, but we'll talk about it later. I'm very interested to see what's going on with Monolith due to some recent hires. So
yeah, someone's thinking this is a new Xenoblade game. It's just like no, Xenoblade Force 2 is way too early.
I wonder if it's a Xenoblade game that's going to connect X and the numbered series. Because that's the rumor right now, is like that extended story thing that they're adding to X is going to finally connect the two universes. And the latest trailer kind of hints at that, right? Where like there's like this multiverse portal that opens up in the trailer or something weird. And I don't know the story. I don't, I'm not trying to spoil anything, but the trailer very clearly shows something, and I think they're going to try to merge the two series because I wonder if they thought that Xenoblade Chronicles was going to be a one-off, and then X was going to be a one-off, and it turns out we got 2 sequels and a bunch of remasters and expansions and all kind of DLC that has more story that connects them all. So that's my guess.
It's definitely the sale numbers. And I was thinking about this when we were talking about like Xenoblade Chronicles X a couple of weeks ago. I was thinking about Smash and how the 2 characters from that game came from Xenoblade, and that just jumped the series to a whole new height of popularity. Because then everybody was just like, "Who are these? Who are these women? These ladies?" And then everybody was just like, "They're from Xenoblade Chronicles 2." And so Xenoblade Chronicles 2 sales start picking up for that game. People start buying it, and they were just like, Xenoblade Chronicles. That's what helped Xenoblade Chronicles become almost a mainline RPG for Nintendo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is. I would argue it is their mainline RPG at this point.
Yeah, and so when Xenoblade 3 hit, and it did what it did with the sale numbers, and people just like came away that I still to this day, I think me and Dan still hype that game up and talk about it. People came away super impressed and be like, Nintendo allowed this? Be like, yeah, and so seeing what Monolith Soft could do for the next game, like I think Xenoblade Chronicles 4, whenever that get announced, that's probably going to do great numbers. So people definitely going to be looking forward to that. But I wonder if they're trying to focus on their new IP, because right now, like Zelda, the Zelda franchise is on hold for right now for a new mainline one. I think Anuma and the team are probably just thinking of things, but I don't know. I think they're trying to wait for like tears to go down and then think of what do we do next for the Zelda franchise. What story?
I think it's time for a remaster or a spinoff at this point, right? I mean, we've gotten 2 new Zelda games in the last 2 years, so I don't know. I think it's probably time for a spinoff or a some sort of remaster, which has kind of been the rumor for a while, right? So
Right. I wonder that was it the Wii? No, it was the Wii demo, right? With the spider, or that was Wii U? I think that was the Wii U demo. That was the Wii U demo. I have a feeling that that's going to come into play. Like, what if Monolith Soft got their hands on that Wii U demo? It was just like, we could do something with this.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I still think they're going to go the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom route. I think that's safe to say at this point.
You think they're going to bring it back? That style of gaming?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that's probably makes the most sense. They kind of already said they were going to do that anyway. Actually, they literally said this is the future of Zelda, 3D Zelda. So, I mean, I don't really have any inkling that they would change that direction. I think if you want traditional stuff, you're gonna either have to play older games, or they're gonna just keep re-releasing the older games and
do like the Legend of Zelda, like the Prince Link's Awakening remake, like Grezzo stuff. Unless they do that.
Yeah, I mean, which they could do too, right? I mean, but I still think they're gonna do some remasters and remakes first. So that's an opinion. I don't, obviously not set in stone, but yeah.
All right. We'll see what happens on April 2nd. We'll see what, like, from April 2nd to the Summer Direct, we literally will see what is going to be coming to Switch to what's going to still be coming to Switch.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be anything new from Zelda or Xenoblade there. I'm going to be honest with you. If they show something, it'll be a remaster of Zelda, and it'll probably come to Switch 1. Right? I mean, that's kind of been my whole thing. Is they said they're going to support Switch 1 still, but my thing is they're going to support it with remakes and with remasters and HD collections and whatever. And obviously, I think indies will stay there. A lot of indies will stay there, and a lot of smaller games. Probably 35 Kirby games in the works. So
I'd probably say they'll probably keep it until 2026, like the support.
Yeah, I mean, they said 10 years, so that'll be spring of 27, which is about a year and a half after the Switch came out is when the 3DS died. So that doesn't surprise me. 2 years after. I mean, and then you look at the 3DS, the Nintendo lineup for the 3DS, it was all remasters and remakes.
Yeah, true.
After.
So, well, we shall see. But Corey, you want to get into some housekeeping?
I guess so.
All right. This is Nintendo Pow Block, the Nintendo podcast for Boss Rush Media and the Boss Rush Network. You can learn more, support us over on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. Joining for as little as $1 a month grants you ad-free access to our main show, early access to expansion pass and video game book club, exclusive access to Power Block's One Up podcast, and more. Become a Patreon producer at the $5 level or even follow us for free. If you can't support us financially, please head over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify and leave a 5-star rating and a great review as it helps with discoverability. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, like the video, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. And make sure you leave a comment or a question below. As always, you can follow us on social media platforms at Pow Block Podcast and at Boss Rush Network. And you can find all of our content, including reviews, listicles, features, our daily banter discussions, and more on bossrush.net.
Yay!
Yay! Anything coming up? Any content or anything coming up?
I mean, once I finish Fire Emblem Engage, I'll have a review up for that old game, but it's fine. I don't have anything, man. It's been so busy. I haven't had time to work on anything. So
I got like 3 banter drafts that I just need to finish. I was going to work on them today, but I'll let everybody know later when we get to a Playing with Power. But yeah, I got my 3 banners. Just got to finish them up and then send them to David, and then do one more banner and then get into my editorial. It's because it's been a while since I did a Saturday editorial. In the moment. Nice. So yeah. Same thing, everybody. A Gamer Looks at 40. Final Fantasy 7. You guys can check that podcast out. And catch up to date with that. There wasn't a new one that dropped just yet. But if you are interested in Final Fantasy 7, get that one. Listen. All 7 of those episodes. I am in 6 of them, so you can hear my thoughts about Final Fantasy 7.
Nice.
So yeah. But Corey, with that being said, how about we get into Snacktendo? Because I got some snacks to talk about.
Oh boy.
Should I go first?
I mean, I can go first because it's real quick. We had Chipotle for dinner tonight, and I tried that new Chipotle honey chicken that they have.
Hold on. When did they drop this?
I don't know. I walked in and I saw the sign. I said, I'm going to try that. So...
Oh my goodness, I didn't know that because I was thinking of ordering Chipotle today for lunch. I just see it. Yeah, Chipotle honey chicken.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I will be getting that for lunch.
Yeah, it's not super spicy, but I don't know. It tasted really good, especially because like I get corn on my burrito, and so like the sweet corn with the sweet honey tasted really good. So together, but yeah, that's it. I haven't had anything interesting or fun or nothing yet, nothing new.
Okay. All right. So everybody, I have kind of 3 new items I want to talk about. I did try the Monster sugar free or zero free sugar or whatever they call it. The Blue Hawaii. It's their new flavor. I'm assuming it's supposed to be like blue raspberry. It has a tropical taste, but it's not like a citrus taste. I can say it's really, really good. I actually drank almost like half of the can. In my first sip, I was just like, "Oh, this is so good." Even though it doesn't have sugar in it, and the people who know me like, no, I know I love my sugar. This one was really good. For I think it would be a good one to keep, and hopefully they like really advertise it for the summer. It's a really nice summer drink. Um, it's weird that they brought it out now, but yeah, it's a really nice. I think it's gonna be a really great drink for those who like energy drinks. If we have a hot summer or something, and you need something to cool you down, while getting a burst of energy, this Blue Hawaii Monster Zero will actually do justice. So I give it a thumbs up if you want to try it. We just got a wild berry flavor of Red Bull. They do have a zero like a sugar free one, and then they do have the regular one, like a regular flavor. I didn't get to try it. I just seen it, and it was late for me picking it up, so I would definitely be trying it Monday after my job.
Nice. There's like a new blue like something. I've never seen it before. It might not be new, but I've never seen it before until recently. Because I'm on that monk fruit Red Bull kick.
Yeah.
That is sold out almost everywhere all the time, apparently.
Oh wow! Then it must be your area because it's like it's full in our area.
Yeah,
like not many people are touching it.
Yeah, like all of the gas stations around here have like 2 to 3 like full rows of like the 8-ounce ones and the 12-ounce ones.
Yeah,
and they're all empty. Like,
wow.
Yeah. So,
and we only have like the 12-ounce. We don't have the 8-ounce ones of the monk.
Yeah. This is my last one. I bought a couple yesterday because I was I was getting I guess it was Thursday. I got gas, and I just went in to see if they had any, and they did. So I'm trying to find them. I was gonna buy like a case of them, but they're like, man, they're so expensive.
I'm surprised Target doesn't have.
I mean, I guess it's not that expensive, but like 24 cans is like $58. So I guess that's $2 a can, I guess, but still.
Because they haven't made them in packs yet.
Like $2.25-ish a can. So
they haven't made it in a 4-pack. Yeah, try Walgreens or Target. You definitely will find it there. And normally, like Walgreens would have like a 3 for $6 or a 3 for $5. So you may be able to catch a sale if you check online, you just online on Sunday, just see what's on sale on the weekly ad, and you probably would catch it.
Yeah.
So well, for me, everybody, I have like I said, was the Blue Hawaii for Monster. We got 2 new chips, actually 3. But I haven't tasted the Fritos quesadilla or queso flavored chips. I haven't tasted those yet. But we got Funyuns sour cream and onion, or Funyun as they call it. It's okay. It
seems like a lot of sour cream, and it seems like a lot of onion in that.
No, it's a lot of sour cream. Yeah, that kind of overpowers. Oh, I could taste a Funyun. I know how a Funyun tastes, and I'm like, ooh, this is a lot of sour cream right here.
Man,
So
Funyuns, man. I remember when those came out for the first time, and like
mhm.
all of my friends were like obsessed with them. Good times, huh? Funyuns.
Yeah, they're good with sandwiches. Like if you
Yeah,
get like this, like the small bag with the small sandwich,
mm-hmm.
it's really good.
No, they're the chip you put on the sandwich. You know how like
Yeah,
people put chips on sandwiches sometimes. Yeah,
yeah,
that's yeah.
yeah.
I haven't had a sandwich in so long.
Oh, I thought you had like a sub or something.
No, I mean like a
Oh,
just like
like
a
the
normal
regular.
like I'm gonna whip out some bread from the from the bread box and
Yeah.
throw some lunch meats on there. You know, so
We've never had a bread box in my family. It was always just the bread, and then we wrapped it, and that
yeah,
was it. And if we couldn't find the wrap, we put it in a knot.
yeah. My my parents have a bread box, but we just have a basket where we store all of our like bread and
Hmm.
tortillas and that kind of thing. It's just a basket that sits on our counter. It's like whatever,
Grab,
it's fine.
grab and go.
Yeah, there's two baskets. One has bread in it. One has fruit in it.
Oh, nice.
So
Uh, so yeah, the sour cream and funyun or sour cream and onion. Everybody, it's a good one. It's definitely a good chip to go. If you're getting, I think if you're eating just a regular sandwich, it would be a good add-on. If you're eating it with a sub, I don't know yet. That I would have to like get Jimmy John's or Subway and try it. But a chip I will recommend everybody try if you get to see it. Doritos now have the loaded tacos from Taco Bell flavored chips.
oh boy,
And it is amazing. It is literally top tier. It is so good. And
wow,
like it literally, I mean, yes, the Dorito flavor and the Cool Ranch flavor, like Dorito tacos that they had. I miss the Dorito the Cool Ranch flavor Dorito tacos. It tastes it tastes different than that. It literally tastes like a, I want to say a supreme taco. If you don't like the supreme tacos, but just like even just a regular taco from Taco Bell, this one tastes just like it. Like you would snack through the bag. Um,
nice,
they do got the big bags. I just got the little small bags because they just brought it out last week. No, they just brought it out this week. And so I had to give it a try. I definitely had to give it a try. But yeah, it is pretty much top tier. It is really, really good. And a really cool design when you look at the bag. It's really nice. So yeah, I definitely recommend getting the loaded flavored tacos of the Doritos.
nice.
Definitely recommend. Last but not least, I'm sorry, I gotta add this one. I had Burger King Friday, and I got the Steakhouse Whopper
Mm,
with bacon on it and A1 sauce. Really, really good. You do taste a little bit steak, but the aftertaste still gives you that Whopper flavor. So I mean, if you just want to get it with just the burger itself to try it, you can. I ate all the fries before I even got to the burger because I was driving and I was quite hungry.
mm,
Um, but yeah, it's really good. For it. I just decided I seen it and I'm just like, yeah, let me try this. See if it see something different. So, that's what my Snacktendo is about. That's what I snacked on, and yeah.
nice.
So, well, everybody, we're gonna get into playing with power. Great. What have you been playing with power?
Well, still the same stuff, Ed. I've been playing Fire Emblem
Mm-hmm.
Engage. I have 62 hours into my save, and I don't know if this game's ever gonna end for me ever. I just I'm so I'm invested in the story, right?
Yes.
But have been invested in like the side stuff too. So I don't remember if I said this on the last episode or not, but I completed the Divine Paralog DLC, which is like the Three Houses DLC, but then you get like you go through some of the stories of the old characters, right? Like like Tiki and Hector and Crom and Robin and Corin and Lucina. So like a lot of the old characters from past games, right? Ike, Roy, Leaf. So you kind of go through there's not their whole story from the game, but like they kind of tell you the story, and then you have to like battle them to kind of get your bonds stronger, and then you go to an area of the world that kind of reminds them of their some big event that happened in their game, right? And then you have to take on their trials, and like some of them are just like get through the battle and win, right? But other ones like Byleth was like it's in the cathedral tomb where Sothis sleeps in Three Houses, and you have to protect the pink crystals from the enemies, and the more you protect by the time you beat Byleth, the greater the reward. And so there's like cool challenges like that. So I've played through all those, and I've played through the Xenophel, some of that paralog, but like I actually think I'm supposed to wait until I finish the game to play that, because there are definite story spoilers in that paralog that are parts of the game that I haven't played yet.
Oh no.
Because like the whole thing is like this is an alternate dimension of your world, right? And so like certain things happen in this world that didn't happen in your world, but like your character's like, oh well, and like when you get there you're like, oh well, in my world this happened, and it's like, oh well, I don't think I'm there yet. But I'm still having fun with it. I'm like getting into the nitty gritty of it now, or like I'm going through and like adding secondary classes to all of my characters now, and like upping their bonds with each other and matching them with the correct emblems to kind of like give them the best move sets with their secondary class. And it's been really fun. I need to save a couple more emblems from there's an event that happens where you lose your emblems and then you find new ones, and then you go back and get the old ones back. Spoilers, I guess. So I'm kind of on my way to get the rest of the old ones back. But yeah, I'm just kind of like I'm doing like the skirmishes and all these other things in the game to kind of level up my characters and their secondary classes, and it's like a whole process. Like I'll get through like it's to the point where like I need to do like 5 battles before I go back and like start leveling up my characters. And because like you can level them up out in the world, right? But like it's easier if you go back to your base and like I do the loop around the base and collect the materials, talk to all the characters that have the little bubbles above their head that said, you need to talk to this character. And then I go through and make the characters talk to each other to level up their bonds. And then you make all the characters talk to the emblems to level up their bonds. It's like this whole process. And then I go to the arena to train characters and train them with their emblems, and learn new skills, learn new abilities through their emblems, because there's like an inheritance, like the big kind of how you learn, or not learn new moves, but have like passive abilities, like you inherit them from the bonds of with your emblem. So like I'm making sure all the the archers have high defense because they're very vulnerable. But I'm making sure all the characters who have low magic have high resistance, and it's it's one of those things. So that's kind of where I'm at, because I don't want to get to the place where that happened in Three Houses, where I just kind of mainline the game, and like I get stuck in the final battle because I'm not leveled up high enough. So yeah, I'm making sure I'm like over leveled at this point. So that's kind of all I've been playing. I mean, I've been playing the Fire Emblem mobile game and the Pokemon trading card game.
Nice.
I did pull a Charizard out of the pack though.
Yes.
But it was not the one that I wanted. It was a different one, but it was not like the So there's like the regular Charizard, and then there's the EX Charizard, which is like the one that looks like it's like popping out of the card.
Yes.
And then there's like a third one that like I don't know if they're called like promo cards or whatever. But I had this like really, really cool animation to it. I'm like, oh, well, this is new. And then it's the only card that does it that I have. I'm like, oh, well, that's strange. So that was cool. And then my daughter is obsessed with Eevee stuff still. So the new expansion has a Leafeon, which is the grass type Eevee Pokemon that's kind of newish.
Yeah.
Daughter's obsessed. I got a Crown EX version of it. I don't know what the best is. I don't really care either. This is just something I do with my kids, right? I don't really care about it. And she just like won't stop looking at it. And then, she's like, where's the fire one? Where's the water one? Where's the, I'm like going through the elemental wheel of Eevees with her. And it's like, it's cute. Like it's fun, but like, after the fourth or fifth time she asks, where's this one? Where's that? I'm like, okay, come on. She just asks to look at them.
Hey, she likes the Eevees.
I know. I don't even think she's interested in Pokemon. I think she just likes Eevee.
That's fair. That's understandable.
Yeah, I mean it's fair, but it's just funny. So, but that's kind of it. I don't really have anything else new to say. I hope I'm done with Fire Emblem next week. I'm gonna try. We'll see. But
okay,
it's depends on how busy I am this week, and what Boss Rush podcast looks like this week, and other factors.
Yeah. Ooh, excuse me, everybody. That's Panda Express that I had early today.
Jeez.
I know. I haven't had it in months, so I was just like, I guess I'll just go have that today for on my off day. Well, for me, I started up Final Fantasy VI on Switch. I just beat the Ghost Train.
Did you suplex it?
That was the first move that I did.
Did you Phoenix down it?
Can you?
Well, it's a ghost. Shouldn't you use Phoenix down to?
I've never used it. I normally just do the special moves and bam,
cheat code. I don't know. Sometimes that works on undead enemies.
Yeah, but not always.
I don't know if that works in that game. I just know it works sometimes on zombie type enemies in other RPGs. So,
like if you use healing, it'll kill them in one shot.
Yeah.
So started that. Definitely enjoyed it. I'm trying to get back to where I was originally at in the game like years ago when I played it on Super Nintendo as Final Fantasy 3. And I still call it Final Fantasy 3, but because I'm playing the collection, I'm gonna call it 6.
It's 6, bro.
So, So I got it to where a certain part, a really big part happens in the game. So I'm trying to get back to doing that. So it's been fun playing it on Switch. With that, uh, still playing Avowed. I just got to the third area of the game. I got one more. I think I'm probably about halfway through with the game. I am getting one more character, and that'll be the final character that'll be added to my party. But right now, I am looking for some jewelry, some eye pieces of jewelry, to put in this worship bottle, and then hear its story, and then get all of these stat boosts to me. I am using a hammer for this. So I am like on the third version of this hammer because of course, you could upgrade it at your camp. I am at the almost at the third section of it, so I could get it to push it over and get to the final section and then build it up. I'm still unlocking stuff in the game. I'm not really using a lot of magic. I think when I get into my second playthrough, I'm going to use magic. I still haven't really used any of the guns. I used the bow, um, kind of in the beginning of the game, but right now I'm just using my hammer and my special sword, that causes bleed and everything when I'm hitting certain enemies.
Nice.
So I am definitely enjoying Avowed. I'm gonna try to finish it up soon. It's taking me a while, definitely because of work, but I am putting time and effort into the game, and charging my reusable batteries for my controller for it. But yeah, I am definitely enjoying Avowed. I could see why it would be a good nomination for Game of the Year. And it's a really big knockout for Xbox, like I said last time. So definitely enjoyed that game. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much what I'm playing with Power. I will say that Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to be on hold for a while until I get back from PAX. So once I get back from PAX, I'm going to be picking up Assassin's Creed, so we could then 1 and 2. Like I'm going to be picking up a lot of those games, for it. So I'm excited for Assassin's Creed Shadows. I can't wait to really dive in and play it. But right now, for a bunch of reasons, Xenoblade Chronicles X is kind of like the main one that I
Oh
have to
yeah,
get.
yeah,
Yeah. And then next month is South by Midnight for Xbox that I have to get. Um so it's just those two, and then everything else like I'll get in June or July.
yeah,
Um or over the summer. So yeah, that's what I'm playing with Power. Everybody.
yeah. I mean, right now it's kind of all Nintendo all the time now for me. I just I don't know. I thought about getting Monster Hunter, but
Hmm.
I was like, I'm gonna play it for like an hour one night and be like, well, that was fun, and then never touch it again. You know.
Yeah,
And
my sister Hunter's on hold too.
I'm trying to be, smarter about the the TV consoles, I guess you'll call them now. Uh, those games to buy, but I don't know. I'm just trying to focus. So
So, shout out to WSAD Beyond Nick, Evan, Brody, into the whole spawn camp. And I bring this up because um, Brody and it was last week's episode, not the one that just passed. But Brody and Nick was talking about Gears of War.
mm,
Uh, and they were supposed to talk. They mentioned a little bit of Gears of War 3, and they brought up Dom, and his death,
mhm.
in the gang, and they
Spoilers.
um it's a old game. You guys can play it
I know.
if you
I'm
haven't,
kidding.
if you're on the Xbox or PC. I think
I'm
it's just
kidding.
Xbox. Um so they said it was impactful, so much emotions and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I responded to I sent them a tweet. And like I said, I love Nick, I love Brody, I love the old Spawn
You were a
Camp.
jerk about it, weren't you?
No, I actually weren't. So I'm going to be upfront and honest with everybody because I'm not. I pretty
Ed's a
much
hater.
am.
Ed doesn't like Gears. Ed has
No,
Ed has no soul.
I have an optional opinion on all three games.
Mm-hmm.
So but I I I told him when like I said, it was I had missed that week's episode, and I had responded to him, or I just really just like kind of like shut him out. And so I kind of just said that um I thought that Dom's death, and this is a personal thing to me, was just to progress the story.
Yes,
And
that's usually what happens when big events happen in a game, is to progress the story. Yes,
but
correct.
no, hold on.
Great observation, Ed.
Hold on. But it was just to progress the story and not do anything with, like, to progress the story and then forget all about it.
What are you
So
talking about? The whole time Marcus is upset.
no, he's
At the
not.
end of the game, there's a payoff. Yes, there is.
I no.
Yes, there is.
I didn't get that. It literally felt like.
Well, then your eyes were closed and your ears were shut.
Okay, so this is what I said. I know at Beyond WSAD, shout out to them once again, would disagree with me about this, but Dom's death
Most people will, yes.
and G3 was only used to progress the story and was forgotten right after to finish the game. It's like
That's not true at all.
his death happened, and it was just like, okay, we got to continue this mission. And even like when it got to the ending, the big ending, the dad's doing what he does to give his life to like save everybody, sacrifice his life, to save the day and everything. And it literally just like, oh, I forgot all about Dom, like after he died and everything. And
You're the worst. No, you know what? You know what game? You know what game? His death didn't matter. Gears 5. That death was to just progress the story, and nobody remembers anything about it, except that there was a choice there that was
well,
unnecessary.
Yes. So, and good googly moogly. Let's see how that plays out.
Well, it looks like we're not going to, because they're going backwards.
With E-Day, yeah. So I guess in Gears 2, when Dom and his wife, that situation, I think that was more impactful in the Gears series than Gears 3.
I agree. I agree that part was probably more impactful than Dom's death to a degree. But like, I don't know. So many people are attached to Marcus and Dom as a team, and I think that feeling of like you lost someone, right? I mean, like that is like, I don't know. I still feel like that's pretty impactful.
And I will say the setup with 2 with that section was a good connection for 3, and the way that it made Dom feel. But it was just like, it literally just felt like once all of that happened after that part in 3, it felt like action, set piece, action, set piece. And I would say this too before anyone brings up Final Fantasy 7. It happened the same thing with 7. After Aerith dies in that game.
Spoilers.
It's this old game. So when that happens, it does, I mean, it has a lingering effect a little bit on Cloud. And then I won't say about Rebirth because I haven't played Rebirth, only played Remake. I know what I know what happens in Rebirth, but I haven't seen it. I haven't got to that point. Yada yada yada. I don't know if it changed the feeling, if it changed the story. But I just speaking about the regular Final Fantasy VII. Um, when that happens, and it looks like there's no payoff to it. It is a payoff at the end of the regular Final Fantasy VII. Her death does pay off, and I guess it's something. It may be something with me personally when characters dies in games, and I understand there should be some impact, there should be some progress. um I just feel like you kind of lose the thought of that character because you're trying to get to the end, you're trying to get to the conclusion, and if you sometimes want to see if that pays off, um and everything. And I guess like I said, it's a me thing, and I think that's like something in games when it talks about their narrative, especially in hardcore games. um I think people really don't get the gist of narrative and storytelling and character building. I think sometimes that we get so much into the 15-minute loop of a gameplay that we overlook characters until they die and everything. And because it was a thing that I had with God of War 4. Um, was that a lot of the hardcore players was talking about the narrative and the story and all of this, and I was just like, well, you care about narrative because you care about these characters in this journey and whatever, or you care that this is a first party Sony game. But this thing has been around. Why did it take this long for you to open your eyes to see it? You know, why people who play a lot of RPGs and JRPGs, or even something from Quantum Dreams like Heavenly Sword, Heavenly Rain, and stuff like that, or Detroit Become Human, or some of the Sega Saturn stuff, or the Sega Saturn, Sega C stuff, Sega CD stuff. You know, when story has been a big corporation with characters and everything, and that stuff get overlooked even though they have impactful moments and stuff. um that got overlooked and people didn't care for. So why do you care about the narrative and stuff about this game now? And I wonder, is it because it's modern gaming, and retro gaming was something a lot of people weren't into, and definitely with the RPG genre.
I mean, didn't play an RPG until the PS2, so you know, I don't know. I, that's my thing. I don't know. I didn't play an RPG until the PS2, and I was excited because Final Fantasy X looked cool, and I went back.
Mm-hmm.
What's this Final Fantasy series? And I went back and played, 9, and then whatever. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't into RPGs, so I can't speak for everyone, but judging by sales numbers, I don't think RPGs got super popular on console until probably the PS2, PS1, and maybe PS1, right? So, but even then, like, people liked them, but hardcore gamers liked them. The normal people didn't.
Yeah.
They were playing Crash and maybe Metal Gear or something, right? So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that. So yeah, it's kind of, yeah, it's a ring around the rosy in my mind kind of topic, everybody. So um about characters' death and people caring about it and feeling impact, um it, when stuff like that has been around for ages, decades of gaming.
Yeah, but it's about connecting with the characters. It's not about every game has to have an amazing story.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
there are games that I like a lot that have not great stories, but then there are stories that are considered amazing for games that I don't care about at all.
mm-hmm.
It's just how you connect with the game and what you're into and what stories grab you. And in terms of Gears, that story I think is a great story. And a game that I really connected with, and a game that I loved, and characters that I love. But you know, you could say that about a lot of other games. Like Mass Effect. Mass Effect story is probably better than Gears, right? But
Mm-hmm.
whatever, they're both great to me. But then there are games like BioShock and The Last of Us that people hold in super high regard that I just couldn't care less about. So,
All right, and it's like I said, it's a character connection thing. That's why I said something like this is a ring around the rosy topic in my mind.
Sounds like an expansion pass topic in my mind. But
I have no problem with that.
Well, we just had it for 25 minutes.
Oh no, we got more. We could dig into more.
Mm.
Oh, trust me, we could dig in more because I'm like, dude, Destiny's characters dying, like,
Yeah, we can talk about that later.
So, but yeah,
I didn't bring up Destiny this week. Everybody, Ed did.
I did.
Just want to point that out.
But yeah, there's no ill intent or anything. Like I said, I love Nick. I love you, Brody. I love you, Nick.
He hates
Evan.
you. He
I
doesn't
love
like
you
any of you.
guys.
You should hear him offline. You should read his text messages to me.
Oh shoot. Oh, and congratulations to Nick on his new job. I was listening to him and Evan's latest episode about Grand Theft Auto 6. Yeah. And Nick talked about him getting a new job, and I want to say congrats to him.
Good
for it. So I know they don't listen to Nintendo Pow Block, but I'm gonna write to them and be like, hey, if you get a chance,
it's not called PC Doomslayer Pow Block. So
I'm gonna be like, hey, if you get a chance to listen to this week's Pow Block, I'm like, I do dedicate a section for Gears 3 and dedicate some love to you guys. So do check it out. Just listen to that part at least. And everything. So yeah. Guys, check out WSCD and Beyond Podcast, and check out the Spawn Camp on Discord. Give them guys some love and some support. Shout out to them.
Shout out.
Well, Corey, it's time for Femi News.
No, it's not. You totally skipped over a whole segment.
Oh yeah. Everybody, I'm so sorry.
Ed's not on his game today.
I'm not. Everybody, like I said earlier, I feel like I'm about to get into my 6-day work week, and so when I like get lazy and everything, I get a bit dumb. So, but everybody, it's time for weekly pickups. Corey, what is your weekly pickup?
So it's back there on the shelf because I forgot to get it off the shelf. But I got so my son is really into Yoshi's Crafted World.
Yes.
And so I've plugged in I have a bunch of somehow I've acquired a lot of DS units and 3DS units.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, just I don't know how, really, honestly. But I have two of the doorstop 2DSs, like the flat ones that don't fold. And so I bought Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World on that. And I've been charging my stuff and see if my son will play them, because he really likes Crafted World, and so I thought it'd be fun to try to get him into that on the 3DS. But I also acquired Monster Hunter Stories collection, which the second game is a digital code. So we might be giving that away soon. We'll see. Because I don't have a need for it, and Ed, I think you own the game already, so
yes,
I don't. We'll give it away somehow. TBD. And then I bought a Destiny helmet because it was on sale. So I put it back here on I rearranged my shelf. This whole unit right here is all Destiny now. So it's like right here. It's a Saint 14 helmet. So it's like a $70 thing, and it was on sale for $21. So I was like,
ooh, nice.
I was like, yeah, I'll get it.
Snack.
Yeah. When Destiny isn't popular, the merch goes down in price. Who knew? There's a lot of Destiny stuff on sale, except for the statue that I need. Shocking. I'll have some more stuff next week though, because eBay takes forever to ship, and also I bought a couple amiibo just now, so on Amazon. So
that's new content coming to Destiny, right?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's not dropping until what, next month or sometime soon?
I mean, Heresy Act 2 is out already.
Oh, so it started
and
already. Okay.
Guardian Games and all this other stuff is already kind of out, or Guardian Games is like this summer, but it's there's always stuff. I just I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really been keeping up with Destiny all that much, except for because I mean, Tower Casuals that went up last week was the first episode I've been on in like 6 weeks.
Oh wow.
I mean, we do it every other week, but like I went to a Cavs game for one, and then I was out of town for one, and then one was like a dungeon, a dungeon review, so I wasn't on it because I didn't do it. So we usually have our community come in and help Josh with that. So yeah, I haven't really been in the loop on Destiny for a while. Which is fine. I mean, I've been so wrapped up in Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
I don't have time to save the galaxy. I'm too busy saving the world in my outfits that I acquire.
Some of the lady pictures, I should say, for heroes.
Well, that's heroes. Which, by the way, you should see some. We'll say the Easter event is going on right now, and
some high quality artwork. HQA.
It's something.
It's high quality artwork, and leave it at that.
Yeah, it's something. You should see the Byleth I got from so there's an event. There's there was like this event, and apparently if you finish, so this was the first event I ever finished. So apparently at the end of the event, you get to like not steal somebody else's character, but they like duplicate it and give it to you, like a 5-star character, and then it turns blue because it's like an earned character or something. I don't know. I don't understand the rules. And they're like, it's Byleth, and I'm like, yes, great. I like Byleth. I have 3 of these already. What's another one? Boy, Ed, not opening that in front of humans ever. So yeah, and there's a bunch of other stuff that way, which is like, it's so funny because you play through the main campaign and like all the characters you earn, and the base characters you earn are just like normal, like I don't want, like they're in armor and like they look like Fire Emblem characters, right? Like they just look like they're in armor ready to go to battle or whatever. And then you get into these events, man. It's like, what's going on here, man? Like
get into the events, be like, ooh, man, this is some high quality art.
the Christmas event, those outfits are festive indeed.
High quality art.
So that's
I hope one day that there just be like it's it's slang for stuff.
I mean, I can send you some of these pictures if you want to see them, Ed.
Oh, send them.
It's not just the women either.
Oh, send them.
So
I
it's
I would love to see the work of this high quality art.
also side tangent. Um, Speaking of Fire Emblem Engage, well,
Yes.
going there. So one of the characters that I really enjoy using, I thought was a female, and it is not. It is a male character who enjoys um dressing as a female, and it threw me off a little bit, but it was different for a Japanese game to see that, because they're not very as open to that kind of stuff
Mhm.
as sometimes some like we like to think the Western side of the world is, which obviously certain man, I don't want to talk about what's going on right now, but
I would say, is it Capcom Final Fight Poison kind of
no,
thing?
no, well, no, it's just like they address this character as he and him throughout the
Mhm.
game, but the character has like a long curly hair, wears a bow, wears a skirt, like wears like when you change your outfits to walk around the Somniel, like
Yeah.
there's like a male set of clothes and a female set of clothes, and this character wears the female set of clothes,
Mhm.
even though there's a distinct difference between the male and the female sets of clothes. And it just like, I don't know, I was like kind of,
Interesting.
I mean, I wasn't opposed to it, at all. I was just, that's new, different for a Japanese company to do that. And I don't, but here's the thing, I don't know if like that was a America, like a Nintendo of America or Western call to do that,
Mhm.
because is this character really a female in Japan? You know what I mean? So I don't know. It was I great character though, powerful character. Rides a wyvern, throws some fire. It's fun. Anyways, I meant to mention that earlier because it kind of really threw me off, and it's kind of neat.
Cool. Nice. Well, everybody, now it's time for Febby News. Corey, take it away.
All right. Sorry, I got stuck on all these amiibo. They're like relatively cheap right now. Not like MSRP cheap, but like around 20 to 25 bucks, uh, which isn't bad for old amiibo.
Right.
Um, I think a lot of them are imports, but I don't care. I'm going to open them anyway. Anyways, Ed, let's get into the news. So Nintendo Switch 2 information has been revealed by an FCC filing. It's not really super new information, but the FCC filings confirm that Nintendo Switch 2 will support NFC for Amiibo, Wi-Fi 6 for faster connectivity, and feature two USB ports for charging, one on the top and one on the bottom. It could also probably be used for other things, like that second screen we talked about at one point for DS emulation would be great.
Yes.
Thanks. Let's see. The console has been tested with original game cartridges, reinforcing its backwards compatibility. So that's been filed as well. And Nintendo still says that the Switch will come out this year. Shocking, with the big reveal
I
coming.
I I do wonder if, like, for the NFC, would they allow the tap of your credit card? Because I know they
I
have
think
that in.
I think that's too dangerous for them. I
Well,
don't think they want to go down
so
that road.
they have it in they have it in Japan. Um,
Yeah,
And I
and I know you
wonder.
can do. I know you can do it on the bracelets at the theme park.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Reason I ask is I wonder if that's something that would be easier, so that like hopefully no one's Nintendo or their account get hacked or anything. Um, you could just tap it for the amount, and keep it moving or anything. Or if they, because I know they won't have it in the cards,
Mhm.
the gift cards or anything. But I just wonder if it's something that they thought about bringing to America, um, for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe, but I don't know. I mean, I don't really have anything else to say about this. I just, people are always interested in Switch 2 news, so there's some for you. Faster connectivity will probably be good, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
uh, although Wi-Fi 7 is out already.
Do a lot of electronic stuff have to go to the FCC?
I think everything does. I think that's what it's for. You have to file it for the FCC.
Okay.
So, uh, but yeah, the next story is kind of the bigger story, in my opinion. But you lead off with Switch 2 news because it's less than a month away, Ed.
Yes.
So we got to figure out what we're doing for that reveal.
Um.
I don't know what we're doing. We'll figure it out. But we got
Yeah.
we need to do something. Uh, Monolith Soft, Ed. Heard of them? Little small studio that makes a tiny RPG series. Maybe you've heard of it, Xenoblade.
Hmm.
They have a game coming out this month, Ed. I'm just kidding. Monolith Soft has added a new cutscene director to their lineup. Daisuke Honda, best known for his work on Final Fantasy 16, 7 Remake, and Kingdom Hearts 3, fuels speculation about its upcoming Switch 2 projects, while the studio is busy with Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition right now. It has also been hiring for a new RPG, and its history of supporting major Nintendo titles suggests broader involvement in future first-party games. The Switch 2 Direct is approaching on April 2nd, and people are thinking Monolith Soft is going to reveal something there. I don't know if you saw their infographic, Ed, of some sort of anniversary has
Hmm.
come out for Monolith, and they had like all the games they've worked on over the years, and like there's a lot of games on there. There's like games I didn't even know they worked on, like Splatoon. They worked
Yeah.
on like all the Splatoon games. Maybe we talked about that at some point, but
Yeah. They worked on Splatoon 2. Um. I know that much. Um. I don't know if they helped in the first one. Because that was a new IP, and I think they were working on Xenoblade Chronicles X around that time.
yeah,
Um.
let's see. It
But I
here's
know. But I know two they worked on.
Yeah, here's what the infographic since the Switch launched. They launched a Switch infographic of games they've worked on. So, Breath of the Wild, Splatoon 2, Xenoblade 2, Xenoblade Torna, Golden Country, Animal Crossing was the one that surprised me.
Okay.
Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, Xenoblade 3, Splatoon 3, the Xenoblade DLC, 3 DLC, and then Tears of the Kingdom. They've worked on a lot. They've got 4 teams, so it's not, you know,
And
not
then they
surprising, but
just hired more people.
yeah,
Um. Like even before they hired Daisuke.
good. Keep them coming. Just keep hiring. Because I think Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was kind of like Monolith's breakout game,
Hmm.
right? Uh, and obviously Tears of the Kingdom with their credit on there, right? Kind of becoming Nintendo's kind of, I want to say probably their maybe not their most important studio, but one of their most important studios
Yes.
right now.
I think that's why, going back to Wii U, when they did Xenoblade Chronicles X, I think they were also tapped on to help Breath of the Wild at that time, because Xenoblade Chronicles X was such a big world, and Xenoblade was a big world too. Xenoblade Chronicles was a big world, but I think with the information that they got learned from the Wii U and be able to create in these big vast lands, it would be smart to touch them, or tap them to help out with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And then when they actually got that down, be like, okay, we need you guys again for Tears of the Kingdom. While Xenoblade Chronicles 3 also being a big world of a game. Uh, you know.
Yeah. So I'm very excited to see what their next game is, because I mean, obviously, I think Xenoblade is probably their most story heavy. Nintendo's probably most story heavy franchise at this point, and this just kind of confirms that they're going to try to, make more story driven, kind of bigger, more important games, and that's great.
Yeah, it's, if you think about it, it's like Nintendo's very own Square Enix in a sense. Which, funny enough, Xenogears, that was published by Square Soft. Square Soft. I don't think they were Square Enix just yet, but yeah. Um,
Yeah,
so
I would very much like to see what's next for them.
I
So,
gotta say, Nintendo is blessed having two of the biggest RPGs for a first party system, with Sega having the biggest one with Phantasy Star. Like, Nintendo got Fire Emblem and Xenoblade. Like, just for, like, for RPGs, Microsoft has Fable.
yeah, I think Xenoblade is bigger than Fire Emblem.
It it is, but I'm just saying, to have
No,
those two series.
no, but my point is that it wasn't, but it is now. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
so
yeah. Because I'm like, shoot, Fire Emblem got big with Awakening, and
hmm
then Xenoblade Chronicles 3 kind of helped that series get big,
hmm
along with Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Smash DLC. But it's
yeah.
just like
I think
having
the
those. Oh, go ahead.
I think the combination of Smash mixed with the Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive
Mhm.
Edition kind of coming out around the same, similar time frame. Like, I think that kind of pushed that series over the edge, and then 3 just became this monster hit.
Shoot, I think Three Houses probably even pushed Fire Emblem even more,
hmm
because it's
Yeah,
just.
which is why I think Engage, not to keep going back to Engage because I'm
Mhm.
obsessed with it, but like, I mean, I was guilty of this too. Like, I think that's why Engage got such, I don't want to say negative, reactions, but like, everybody thinks that Three Houses is better than Engage, right? Because of what it did, and I think,
Yeah.
the rise of stuff like Persona, right, really influenced Three Houses clearly. And I think people really liked that about Three Houses. It was less strategy game and more relationship building and bonding. And like, that's how it, you grew your characters instead of the traditional stuff that Engage clearly does. Um, and so, yeah, I mean,
And and I think I gotta give it up to Intelligent System and Koei Tecmo coming together to make Three Houses.
mhm,
Because, like, I people feel like, and I don't know how true this is, but because of Metroid Other M, people thought that Nintendo and Koei Tecmo's relationship will sizzle out because of how Other M was received in the sale numbers. But I'm like, no, Koei Tecmo and Nintendo had, got the Fire Emblem series, Hyrule Warrior 1 and 2, and stuff. And like Nintendo's still working with Koei Tecmo on different projects. Intelligence System probably needed something to to do at the Three Houses and Three Hopes, because like Koei Tecmo probably was just like, we would love to return to the series, but right now we are busy with our own projects with like Team Ninja and other factors. I mean, other studios in ours. But we always would keep that door open to work with Nintendo in a Fire Emblem series or Zelda series or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Nintendo's keeping that good blood with folks because they know that it's good money coming their way.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Like Platinum Games is probably like, yeah, we want to keep a great relationship with Nintendo. We like Bandai Namco want to keep. I think a lot of Japanese companies I'm talking about want to keep that good relationship. Definitely Way Forward want to keep that good relationship with Nintendo. Because and yes, I did say money and everything, but I'm just like, they know with a good relationship comes good business, and so that good business comes from the sales of those games.
Yeah. All right. Last kind of major news story here, Ed. I don't know how much you have to say about this, but I'm pretty excited about it. The Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 Remastered have finally been announced. With a twist, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 is launching on July 11th on all major platforms, including the Nintendo Switch. It will also be on Game Pass for those who are Game Pass members, which is kind of surprising, although it's not, the game will feature new and legendary skaters, new parks, legendary parks, music, cross-platform multiplayer, all that stuff. A new level called the Water Park is also going to be there. Pre-order grants early access perks, with Digital Deluxe Edition offering extra content like the Doomslayer and Revenant skaters. And the Collector's Edition will include a birdhouse skateboard deck. And the asterisk said trucks and wheels and grip tape and other skateboarding accessories not included. So it's just the deck, which I think is pretty standard for these things. But the one thing that is people are kind of up in arms about, Ed, is that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 is being changed for this release. I don't know if you know this or not, but Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 wasn't an open world game, but they were starting to play with some of the concepts that Underground and Underground 2 really took off with, which was like skating around a world, taking missions from other characters, other people, stuff like that. And people are mad because they're kind of shoving Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4 into the traditional 2-minute run format in these and like kind of taking the world and creating levels out of them to make 2-minute runs instead of taking some, like, you could go up and take a mission from a character and like it would take like, knock down as many barrels as you can in 30 seconds or whatever, right?
Yeah.
They're taking all that out and making traditional levels out of those areas, which for me is fine. I would rather play that experience.
Because wasn't 4 like the one of the least like ones for like wasn't
No, 4 was like, I think out of the numbered ones, 4 is probably the least favorite. But I think a lot of people who like Thug and Thug 2 point to 4 and be like, this was like the beginning of what Thug became. So I think a lot of people are waiting. People really like Tony Hawk 3. I think 3 is kind of the best one out of all of them.
Because I know 2 was a favorite. I'm assuming
Yeah.
3 was the best one out of them because I think that one like really did numbers and everybody was
Yeah.
talking about it. And then when it got to 4, there was a switch,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when the series kind of started fizzling out because people were upset about it, or some of the ratings. Like I know at some point Tony Hawk started going down.
It was the open world aspect of. Well, it was not open world, but you know what I mean? Like the quest structure of 4 that kind of turned people off because it wasn't the same. But
Okay.
I think people started opening up to it, and why Thug did so well and Thug 2 are so beloved. I think the series started going downhill with American Wasteland, which was the game that came after Thug 2.
Was there Tony Hawk 5?
Yeah, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 was the last new game that came out.
Because that one, like, really kind of,
Yeah,
I
it was
think that tanked
totally
the
broken.
series.
It totally broken when it came
Yeah. Okay.
out. Because it was so broken, characters were falling through the world, the controls were all different. It was bad. It was like really bad.
Yeah, I really wonder what happened with that one.
I mean, Activision rushed it out because they saw dollar signs because they slapped the number 5 on it, and people were like, "Oh, it's going back to numbers, so it must be good." Because remember the releases before that, like they did that weird Xbox Live Arcade version of 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And then they did all those ones with the plastic skateboards in the box because Guitar Hero was a thing. So then everything had to come with a plastic accessory, right? So it was like Ride and Shred. And then they did that weird Wii one, Downhill Jam, right? So,
yeah, because you put the Wii in the board and you had to like skate around.
Yeah. So yeah, there's some weird stuff going on with Tony Hawk, but I'm excited for the changes they're making to 4, to be honest. I like the traditional 2-minute run thing. Plus getting it on Switch, first of all. So it's perfect for the handheld kind of 2-minute run kind of style. You know, I got 5 minutes to burn. Let's do a couple runs of Tony Hawk or whatever. I wonder if it'll get a Switch 2 upgrade, patch, release, separate release, whatever. This is kind of one of those games that people are pointing to, be like, it'd be really nice if you made a Switch 2 version of this, because the Switch version of Tony Hawk 1 and 2, though it was good, it was really, like, the loading stuff was really slow, which turned a lot of people off. Turn people off because obviously, like, if you mess up, you want to press start, and you know it's the Super Meat Boy effect, right? Where like you press start and you just hit restart and it instantly loads you back in, and it didn't do that on the Switch version. It took 4 or 5 seconds instead of instantaneous, and that really turned people off for some reason because people are dumb. But it played well on Switch, well enough. So. I mean, obviously, it's better on Xbox and PlayStation, but
because it was released for those systems first, and then they decided to make the Nintendo version.
Yeah, I had the Dreamcast version of 2, and then Xbox got that weird version of 2 called 2X, and they added stuff to it.
Yeah,
and and then 3 was one of the first games I got for GameCube, so that was fun. I also I remember playing Tony Hawk 1 at my friend's house, and it was really cool, and we were playing it on PlayStation, so I ended up getting it on N64 because I didn't have a PlayStation, and the songs didn't have the lyrics in them.
just the beats,
and then it was just like a 30-second loop of the song because the cartridge couldn't hold the music. And then it was also the first game I owned that needed a memory card.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, what do you mean I need a memory unit? I was like, what is a memory unit? Because I didn't know. I didn't ever own a console that needed one before. Because obviously the PlayStation and the Saturn were like the first two that required memory units, right? And 64 saved straight to the cartridges. So
right.
That's my memory of Tony Hawk 1. I love Tony Hawk 1 and 2, man. So good. I love 3 too. 3, I mean, I got with the Best Buy gift cards that I got for my birthday, I got a GameCube that year for my birthday and Luigi's Mansion for my birthday, and then I got a bunch of Best Buy gift cards. And my first purchase was Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and that nasty orange controller. Those were my first, and a memory card. Those were my first 3 purchases. And then I realized that Tony Hawk took up an entire memory card, so I had to go buy another one at some point. Because those first GameCube memory cards were so small. Good times. Remember things were measured in blocks?
Oh, yeah.
Instead of like gigs.
Gigs, yeah. Then you would see the block of that game, and sometimes it would like animate, like rotate or something like that.
Yeah, I remember it was cool on the PlayStation version of Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
Like they would like it would like skate, like there's a skateboarder and it would do a trick or something. And then the GameCube version of 3 just kind of had a 3 that spun around, and I was like, oh, okay. That's cool, I guess. Oh, good times. Good times. Man, skateboarding was a thing in the 90s and early 2000s. So fun.
I still to this day have not played any of the Tony Hawk games. I should give them a try.
Yeah, dude, the controls are so tight. They're so good.
I will say this. I think it was more definitely for me a EGM game. Meaning that what I read of the reviews for the game and just heard people talk about it, like in forums and stuff, I kind of got the understanding of it. And when I started working at Toys R Us and I was selling the game, I had a feeling that series was going to be should be a big hit. That's why when 5 came out and we got selected copies, after reading like the reviews for it, I'm just like, we're gonna have a hard time selling this game.
Yeah, it was not great. So quickly delisted.
Yeah, and shout out to Microsoft for getting it on Switch day one, because you know how Activision is, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah. But yeah, I think good on them. I hope I do hope that this game comes to Switch too, honestly. It'd be nice to have like I don't want to say a proper version, but one that's like not, dumbed down for a console. Because like as much as I love Tony Hawk 1 and 2 on the Switch, there are some very obvious concessions. But I digress. The last kind of small news story we're going to talk about real quick. Nothing really to talk about here, but GoldenEye for the Nintendo 64 has been nominated for the Video Game Hall of Fame. And you can go to the Museum of Play Player's Choice ballot, and you can vote for the games. Modern Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, Quake, and Age of Empires are all part of this list as well. And the top 3 public choices will be go to a final selection from an advisory committee, so you can go check that out. GoldenEye, console, kind of revolutionary console shooter.
Oh yeah,
lot of time played GoldenEye. So shout out to Rare. They knew what they were doing.
I'm looking at the list: Age of Empires, Angry Birds, Call of Duty 4, Defender, Frogger, GoldenEye 007, Golden Tee, Harvest Moon, Mattel Football, NBA 2K, Quake, and Tamagotchi. The battle party for me will probably be GoldenEye 007 and Modern Warfare, because those was 2 impactful games. When it comes for shooters, Angry Birds. Oh, good.
Angry Birds super impactful. I mean, that revolutionized mobile gaming.
And dude, NBA 2K on Dreamcast was everything.
I know.
I played the season with the Blazers and won. Like I did all the games and stuff. I'm just like, ooh. The only bad thing that I had was the free throws, pressing the R left trigger. I hated those. but everything else was like controls was so tight. And it when I say that, it really felt like mixing an arcade and sim style together
Mm-hmm.
in its balance.
Mm-hmm.
Like NBA 2K just comes to mind. That's how good it was. And I'm just like, no other game is touching this. Nothing else feels like this. NFL 2K probably, but like for a basketball game, yeah, NBA 2K was the game.
Yeah, NBA 2K was a must-have for the Dreamcast. I
Oh
mean, I
yes.
continued to buy it on the GameCube, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
once the Dreamcast went away, I bought 2K 3 through 5 because I think they stopped making it after 2K5 for GameCube.
Because that's Visual Concepts.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was good.
they
And then
knew how to make.
they made that college basketball game too for a couple years.
Yeah,
just as good, but like, I don't know. You can only do so much with college basketball, I think. Right?
Which NFL game was it for $20 that made
it was NFL 2K5.
2K5?
Yeah, it was. They had the ESPN license too, which made it even funnier because they were like lost money on that game, but they wanted that foothold from Madden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they clearly scared Madden, and they clearly scared EA away to the point where they bought the exclusive rights. Right? Like,
yeah. And people were, because I think it was the top seller on PlayStation 2.
Yeah, it was
for NFL.
It was $20. Of course,
and so many people bought that game. I was just like, they had. I don't know how many copies Madden did, but I'm just
Owens on the front.
I knew that NFL 2K5 was a big seller, and I think it got better ratings than Madden at that time.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they got scared.
Oh, the drama of that. That's. Oh, I would love to revisit just like moments in games like that, where it's just like, oh, they killing it, and then the drama happens where they bought the license. I'm like, oh, dang.
It was definitely something. It was. They got it. They had it. So
yeah, that's the only sport that has an exclusive to it. Where they pay for the license to be the only company that makes it.
Yeah,
you know, you can make MLB games if you get the license from them.
Yeah,
but
but like the licensing fees for like the MLB and all the players associated, it's like not worth it.
Yeah.
And like you're really gonna make a baseball game now to go up against the show, which is like arguably the best sports game out there.
Well, yeah, because EA gave up Triple Play.
Yeah,
Triple Play was the baseball game, but like for Nintendo and everything, like we had Ken Griffey, we had RBI Baseball, we had all of that stuff.
2K had All Star Baseball until like 2009. So,
yeah.
So, yeah, man, I don't know, baseball.
Yeah, so for me, I'm gonna have to give it to GoldenEye 007. Like,
yeah, I don't know. It's hard to argue with Modern Warfare and Angry Birds though, or Age of Empires. To be honest, Age of Empires was like super revolutionary. But we could have a whole conversation about all of this.
Well, I definitely would say Modern Warfare 2, with the airplane level.
I mean, I think people like Modern Warfare 2 better, but like Modern Warfare, like, hold on, I mean, remember Halo was the biggest game on the planet, and Modern Warfare came out, and people were like, "What is this?" And it like changed the trajectory of shooters forever. Like it like made people stop playing Halo to go play that. I remember.
Was Modern Warfare 2 the airplane level?
It was the no Russian or whatever, the one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Because for like shooters, the history, I mean, besides like Doom and Quake and all of that stuff, all the PC stuff, just only speaking on console, it was like GoldenEye 007. Kind of was the leading one, and then Halo came out and pretty much just made the definition of first person shooters for console. Definitely, left to move, the right stick to do the camera, the L button to lock on, R button to shoot and stuff. Like Halo did a lot, and then Call of Duty came out and actually, cleaned that stuff up. Becoming the norm. And had, it's multiplayer, but like had a story that was really really good. That, yeah, it jumped around here and there, but kind of just had something going for it with this story. Medal, I will say Medal of Honor on front lines on GameCube and PS2 and during that era was a big one influencer
Well,
too.
that was the team that left EA to go make Call of Duty, right? I mean, that was
for Respawn.
Yeah, I mean, they were Infinite. They
Infinity.
They left EA to go make Infinity Ward and made Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So,
because man, Medal of Honor front lines, great soundtrack. Definitely has a great soundtrack to that intro. But it was just like, if you were to like the World War II stuff, something about Medal of Honor Frontline from that first mission and going on was just so strong and very impactful. And then, Battlefield had its thing, and then like we wouldn't get anything different until Metroid Prime, because Metroid Prime was such a single player experience and a different control design. So it kind of happened like, it was, to me, in my opinion, it was like the first game that was somewhat open worldish, in molding the 2D Metroid exploration into a 3D environment. But it was kind of like, if you could get into stuff in an open world thing, with definitely with no multiplayer, Metroid Prime was that game that was a big example for it. History of shooters is really fascinating for games.
Yeah. But that's it. That's your news for the week. I mean, there's some other things, but it was just like, honestly, stuff I don't want to talk about, or stuff I don't think is needed on this show. Oh, let's see. I guess that means it's time for PAK Watch.
PAK Watch.
Here are the things you can purchase on your Nintendo Switch this week. On 3/12, Expelled. Miss Mulligatawany's School for Promising Girls is one of the best boarding schools in England. You are Verity Amersham. You're on a scholarship.
Oh, goodness.
And today,
really?
Yeah. Yep. I gotta zoom in. And today you're going to be expelled for attempted murder. From the creators of Overboard and Highland Song comes a highly replayable detective game with a wicked twist. Okay. Fate Reawakened. Fate Reawaken is the critically acclaimed Fate game. Wait. The critically acclaimed Fate games like never before. Whatever. This is clearly a Google Translate. Play all 4 classic dungeon crawler titles with enhanced graphics, so you battle through challenging procedurally generated dungeons, learn powerful spells, and fish to your heart's content. Are you up to the task?
No.
Nope. On Your Tail, an intriguing gateway full of mystery awaits in the story-driven sim On Your Tail. Follow the adventures of the intrepid Diana as she explores a charming seaside village, meets eccentric inhabitants, and gets to the bottom of some of the most puzzling local mysteries. This looked like an Ed game, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And then on 3/18, MLB The Show is the big one. Ignite your passion and build your path to greatness from high school all the way to the Baseball Hall of Fame and MLB The Show 25. Along the way, connect with iconic baseball stars and fan favorite modes, updated with new ways to play, or try the brand new roguelike Diamond Quest mode. Everything's got to be a roguelike now, huh? Where you earn rewards through moments, boss encounters, and more. What? Boss encounters? Okay. Or you can just play baseball because it's a baseball game. So those are the things you can purchase on your Nintendo Switch this week.
Oh my gosh, I think you forgot 2 games.
I did not forget 2 games.
So there's a game called Beyond the Ice Palace 2.
Nope.
And the Phantom gets a 2-player beat 'em up.
Nope. I did not forget those games. I left them there on purpose. DLC and expansions and recent game updates that you might be playing right now. Civilization 7's first major update, version 1.1.0, has been released, introducing features like the Bermuda Triangle, enhancements to the modern age geographic society, and the ability to convert holy cities. The update also brings various UI and gameplay improvements, including adjustments to leader abilities and AI behavior.
I wait for like Digital Foundry or some reviews.
I mean, the Switch versions of these games are not great, apparently.
Civilization was broken on everything when it came out, so that's why I'm like, I kind of want to hear if Digital Foundry is going to give it like an update or something, or talk about it.
Oh my gosh, Ed, I'm scrolling through the eShop real quick. Oh my gosh, I'm concerned about this one game. Seems very.
So there's Beyond the Ice Palace 2.
That's not that one.
The Phantom. I already know K-pop idols dated anime love for.
Nope.
Beast
not
7.
The one nope, it's the one above Beast.
Symptom, Fate Awakened.
Anyways, I'm going to read the rest of these DLC and expansions. You'll figure it out.
3D Didn't Die.
No Man's Sky's latest hotfix addresses numerous bugs and optimizations. It is not yet launched on Switch, but it's coming soon. It's out on the other platforms already. Developer Hello Games assures players that the update will arrive on Switch as soon as possible, bringing fixes to missions, inventory issues, planetary rendering, and all overall performance improvements. And lastly, Stardew Valley's latest Switch patch fixes text issues and crashes introduced in a previous update, ensuring smoother gameplay. Shout out to Nintendo Life, by the way.
Yes.
They have a nice category called Game Updates, which lists all the updates, well, the ones that they catch, right, for games and stuff like NSO and stuff. They put it all under updates, which is very helpful. So shout out to Nintendo Life. I am forever grateful for that website.
Yes.
Nintendo Life and Push Square are like the 2 best websites of all time.
Shout out to Xbox Wire too. I checked them out too.
Yeah, but Xbox Wire, man, it's like shouting out the PlayStation blog, right? It's like,
oh yeah,
although the PlayStation blog is about as good as the PlayStation Store, so we're
going to keep that one definitely moving.
Nintendo Switch Online updates, Ed, this week. We have 2 Game Boy games, 2 very good Game Boy games. Donkey Kong 94, which is argued as the best Donkey Kong version of Donkey Kong ever made. I highly recommend Donkey Kong 94. It's very good. It's just called Donkey Kong, but it came out in 1994, so people have lovingly called it Donkey Kong 94. But it's just called Donkey Kong for Game Boy. Go play it, though. And then Mario P-Cross, so all you P-Cross fans out there.
Dan.
Yeah, Dan and Pat. P-Crossing it up. Don't cross your P's? I don't know.
Oh, P-Cross?
Means something else. Mario P-Cross also out on Game Boy. Those are your updates to Nintendo Switch Online. Nintendo Music Editions. So the Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past soundtrack. Full soundtrack has been added to Nintendo Switch Online, or Nintendo Music. So you can now check that out as well.
I was watching last year, I was watching our 8-part gameplay of The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. Just watching it, just like, ooh, this is so much fun. It just listen to the conversations and everything. I was just thinking about it. I'm like, man, that was so good.
Yeah.
I was just like, me and Corey actually beat a game together where Corey watched and gave commentary and produced while I played the game.
Yeah, that was pre that was when in a time where I had no idea how to do any of this stuff. So here we are.
We did that. We did Super Metroid. There still are. Is it our playthrough of Gears 1 still up?
I don't remember, man. I don't know. There's so much content out there that it's just kind of like,
I can't believe it's not butter content.
Yeah, man. I just, yeah. I don't want to think about it because it gives me extreme. Anyways, let's get into question block.
Question block. Yes.
If you have any questions, topics, comments, or thoughts, feel free to write them into the show. You can post them in the Nintendo Pow Block question block channel on the Discord. You can leave comment on YouTube video, drop them on Patreon from the last episode or YouTube channel, or you can look on social media for threads, although we're trying to funnel people to these places. So you go to those places and we'll read them. So, yeah, if you are also new to the show, we're going to start reading new reviews for Apple Podcasts and Spotify, comments from Spotify and YouTube. So write those in and we may have a surprise for you at the end of the month. So let's get into question block, Ed.
Yes.
Sam Hall writes in via YouTube, a very great contributor to the Pow Block community over the years. What are some of your fondest memories of the Switch as it turns 8? Yeah, we didn't really address the 8-year anniversary of the Switch at all.
Yeah. So definitely with the release of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, that was a big one. I think definitely when Doom got announced, that Nintendo Direct, like me, I think
Wolfenstein at the same time.
Yeah, like after that presentation, did we do the direct recap or because I know we talked at that because I know I was going on to a concert in Milwaukee, but I know after that happened, we were like literally on the phone, just like, dude, can you believe it? Like we had a good direct recap with that, but like just our personal talks with it, which is like, and this was before when Bethesda got brought by Microsoft. I was super shocked that this was that was happening.
I don't really know, to be honest. I know we talked about it. I don't know if it was on an episode or on, something else, but
because I think it was the following day after that Nintendo Direct happened that we did the recap recording.
Yeah.
The stuff. Definitely with 2019 when like we had Astral Chain, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Link's Awakening. Like we had bangers in the summer and into the fall, and it was just like September 2019 was bunkers of releases, and it was just like, why y'all going this hard? Definitely E3 Summer Direct, I should say. Seeing Metroid Prime, or that might have been E3 still. Not Metroid Prime. Metroid Dread. That was a big moment, and then everybody was just like, oh, and then with the OLED coming out, just yeah, the workout one, I cannot think of it.
Or is Ring Fit Adventure?
Ring Fit Adventure being a big thing during the pandemic, along with Animal Crossing, and Nintendo just I think Nintendo for the last 6+ years, even after its release, being number one on the sales chart with its games and the systems. Like it was number one, and then Mario Kart just taking over was a big one. Tears of the Kingdom hitting 10 million sales within 3 days. That was crazy. And I'm like, and it's another perfect 10. Like, I don't know what other game has done it. There's probably many, but Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom being perfect 10s.
Mm-hmm.
Like, um, the importing stuff with Nintendo. People were importing games and playing it on the Switch and everything, and it's probably the biggest system that have a lot of people imported games for, because it's the region free. Like all three are region free.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Microsoft putting some of their games on it, Sony putting some of their games on it. Uh, Shoot, where do I even where do I even go from here?
Yeah.
Um, like Mario Wonder, you know, selling still selling after like Spider-Man 2. Like that was a big challenge for it.
Yeah.
The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, just the reveal of it and people getting excited. Um Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Monster Hunter Rise was a big moment because yes, Monster Hunter
It's
World
literally
was
going through every moment on the Nintendo Switch.
sorry,
Every single moment.
sorry. Monster Hunter Rise was a big one because I'm like, we didn't expect it to go to other consoles, but like that was a big thing. Definitely with the change of his gameplay, people were into. And then, like we said earlier, Fire Emblem Three Houses, like Nintendo having banger of games, first party, one of their probably strongest library. And then you got the indies and third party and, limited run and all the 8-bit and all of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I definitely think the launch of the Switch was important,
Mm-hmm.
and um I think that Zelda really carried that for a long time, even though like we had that kind of small roadmap at the beginning of games that were coming, right?
Yes.
But I think it really hit at E3 that year, where like, I mean, the announcement of a new Mario, a new Xenoblade, the Mario plus Rabbids game,
Oh, that was big.
Fire Emblem Warriors, which was like, people were like, are we getting too many Fire Emblem games at this point? Because like, Shadows of Valencia had just come out in May,
Mm-hmm.
and we had gotten Fates and things the year before, and people were kind of concerned. I was like, man, we're getting a lot of Fire Emblem, but I think the big one of the funnest moments of the launch year, maybe not the most important, but like the Mario Odyssey song.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? I mean, the that song was like everybody was singing it,
Mm-hmm.
and that
Yeah.
music video, and like the return of Pauline, and it was really like pretty. It was pretty iconic. I think that song is still really, it's a banger.
Yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah.
Um, and then once we kind of got into Nintendo really starting to announce things, and the cadence just never stopped, and I think that was probably like, I know I just made fun of you for listing off a ton of moments, but like there was moment after moment after moment after moment.
That Smash Ultimate.
Yeah, like all the Smash reveals, the Mario Kart DLC,
Yeah. Oh, and that's
the
so is alone and then the expansions.
yeah, not we didn't get one, but two Xenoblade sequels.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, man, Nintendo has done a lot of really uh great things. Metroid Dread, I know people really loved, and uh
The Keyblade did
just
Ultimate. What's his name?
Sora.
Sora.
Um, Getting that exclusive, that timed exclusive for Dragon Quest XI's kind of special edition.
Mm-hmm.
It's that. I mean, it was Switch has had a great run, and I'm as ready as I am for the Switch 2. Like,
Yeah.
I'm glad that it's still like the Switch, and it's going to feel like the Switch for all intents and purposes. And we're going to get more. We're going to get those. I think we're going to get the Doom Wolfenstein moments more and more of like, okay, Final Fantasy, like, I'm imagining like Final Fantasy VII remake and rebirth, right? That's going to be a moment.
Yeah.
Because Final Fantasy VII skipped Nintendo 64, iconically skipped Nintendo 64. And so we got the remaster on Switch, but like, this is going to be a moment, right? It's not just going to be released, kind of farted out onto the eShop and people will buy it, right? Like, this is going to be a moment, an announcement, a big Nintendo Direct, right? Moment. We're going to see all, Elden Ring maybe, and, all these games that people love on other platforms, but now you can take these games with you on the Switch 2 because the Switch 2 is powerful enough to handle them.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be the shift Nintendo needs for the Switch 2 to be as successful as the Switch, right? Is like, we see these iconic games on the Steam Deck and people love them on the Steam Deck, but like, Nintendo is a universal device, whereas the Steam Deck, I mean, it's sold, pretty well, right? But it's still a niche device. It's, I mean, 3.5 million units is like not a lot of units for hardware, right? It's a pet project essentially for Steam. So yeah, and I just think Nintendo needs that, and I think they're going to get it. I think they're going to see Metaphor will be a big one. Yakuza will be a big one, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, Sega's definitely going to be trying to be on Switch too.
I'm just trying to think of all the people, like games that would make sense. I don't need every game on the Switch too, right? Like, there are games that don't make sense, right? I mean, you could, right? I mean, I'm not trying to stop anybody from putting games on there, but like,
Hi-Fi Rush needs to be on Switch too.
To me, like, Call of Duty, I could care less if Call of Duty ever comes to Switch, right? Like, I know people kind of want it there, and people will think it's interesting, but I don't care, right? I don't care. I think it'll be fascinating to see what Microsoft brings over. I mean, we've talked about that at length, but
still,
we'll see.
I think Microsoft will still bring like Bethesda stuff and some of their other party games.
And for the most part, like, Activision and Bethesda have been supporting the Switch like all the way through until recently, right? I mean, Doom Eternal's on Switch, right? Like, what is going on? Doom Eternal's on the Switch, but Hi-Fi Rush is not. Explain that to me.
Which I can understand if it's on Switch too. I can understand. I did want to mention, I'm sorry everybody, Marvel vs. Capcom All-Star Collection. Dude,
I don't know if that was a moment.
Oh, that was big.
I think a very small group of fans were excited for that.
With the way that Maximilian on YouTube, like, his reactions was just everywhere. But just people just having Marvel vs. Capcom 2 back to play was a big thing. Like, that was a big moment, not to the fighting community, but it was just like seeing that Marvel and Capcom was coming back together to release a collection of their games, of their fighting games, and seeing that it paid off, and Capcom being super happy with that. That was a big thing. Square Enix, like, even Square Enix with Octopath Traveler 1 or 2, Voice of Cards, doing these small games and Triangle Strategy and all of these other RPGs and stuff, like, that even paid off for Square Enix. Like, yeah, they can have a big budget game, but like, these smaller projects, people were just like, this is a great game to have. This is a game of the year, JRPG nomination. Like, people recognize those games, and it was a good business for Square. Like, like to think of how their relationship was at a certain time to now, even with Bravely Default being on Switch, like that was big. Like Square Enix came up, Konami even got love even after Hideo Kojima left and stuff. Like, you want to talk about launch games? Um, um, Bomberman was selling like hotcakes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Puyo Puyo Tetris was selling like hotcakes.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like some of these companies and games that people didn't expect, the mugs touch Switch, and they were selling the close to 500,000 to 1,000,000 copies. And people were going out buying the physical, whether they ordered it to get it shipped to them or they was going to the stores. That was good business for every company who was on Nintendo Switch. Even when that system was getting laughed at being low power and nobody really gonna play it, and just all the bad mouthing it was getting in the beginning, people were like going out and preferring to play games this way. Like, the biggest cultural change is that Nintendo Switch changed the way how we play games.
Yeah.
Regardless if you like cloud gaming or not, people were just like, we're going to take advantage of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Our next question comes from Deshaun Malone on Blue Sky. What are your top 5 Switch only games? Breath of the Wild does not count.
All top right. 5 Switch only games? Oh, that's easy.
So I think, so Fire Emblem 3 Houses, definitely one. These aren't in any particular order. Man, I have to go through all of my Switch stuff to just even see. I would actually I think I might put Fire Emblem Engage on there too. So the Link's Awakening remake, so that's 3. Ed, why am I blanking on so many things? Man, so many of my favorite games on Switch are Wii U games.
Should I go there? What do you think?
Sure.
Okay, so definitely Pikmin 4.
Pikmin 4, yeah, man.
Pikmin 4. Pikmin 4, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I was gonna say Octopath Traveler 2, but that is on PlayStation, and I think it's on Xbox also now. But definitely those two. Super Mario Odyssey, I definitely love that one. Tears of the Kingdom, that's just a top one for me.
Yeah, I felt like it was cheap to put Tears of the Kingdom on there.
Yoshi's Crafted World. Like, I wrote the review for Crafted World, and I'm like, oh, this is a perfect 10. Like, it was my game of the year. But those definitely would be my 5.
Mario Rabbids for me would be my 5th one.
Oh, Mario Rabbids is so good too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that Ubisoft presentation and seeing the director and Miyamoto, it was not only a heartfelt moment, but man, when the XCOM team, who was kind of like the birth of that genre and stuff, was just like, yeah, we love this. Like, we want to play it too. Like, that was another major thing.
Yeah.
But those are my games.
Yeah. Shout out to Ubisoft and the Starlink Star Fox stuff.
Yes, that was really really good.
I know a lot of people didn't play that game, but I think the Switch version is worth playing strictly for the Star Fox stuff. It's the best Star Fox game maybe ever. In my opinion, I think it's much better than Star Fox 64 and anything that came afterwards. So, I mean, that's my opinion, but definitely better than Star Fox Zero. Yeah, man, my internet keeps like I keep disconnecting from Zencaster, and I don't understand why. But Ed, just shake your head and nod. You've done it like 4 or 5 times already, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's going off and on. I'll just wait till you come back. Be like, yeah.
But a lot of the games that I really liked on Switch came to other consoles, and a lot of them are on Wii U. So,
well, like you said,
like
Three Houses,
like Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair. Like I really love that game.
So
but it's
good.
Like it's on everything. So
on everything, yeah. I definitely, yeah, I know Breath of the Wild's not counted, but I'm like, Breath of the Wild did a lot.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild, man. So I have too many other games to play right now, but I thought about going back and playing Breath of the Wild just to play it like with the knowledge that I know now. But
I will say Disney Dreamlight Valley, but that's multiplayer too.
Yeah. Let's see. Our next question comes from Marine Gamer 1289 on YouTube. He writes into the Boss Rush podcast a lot. What is one thing you're surprised that never happened during the Switch era?
That the guy from Respawn never apologized for a statement about Titanfall 2 not being on Switch, and then making
I
fun
think you're
of
the
it.
only person that's thinking about that.
I just saying. That was the one thing that I'm surprised never happened. After seeing all those games, the system selling crazy numbers for the last 7 years. And then going back and be like, well, ooh, wow. And then reading all of these companies are playing Nintendo Switch at work. Like, you can make a system that's low power and for kids and stuff, but half of the video game industry, their workers are playing the system and the games. And still didn't bring Titanfall 2.
I think you're the only person that's surprised by that.
Hey, that was the question. I answered it.
I was going to say I'm surprised there weren't more special edition consoles or controllers. That was going to be my answer.
Yeah.
No Mario special edition controller, man.
Shoot, no Mario special edition as a game. Well, no.
They had that red Switch.
Well, yeah. But like something like Mario Maker. No, but Mario Maker wasn't a special edition. You just got a promotional thing at Target with the lunchbox.
Yeah. All right. Our last question comes from KCDC via Blue Sky. Who are your favorite Nintendo characters of the Switch era? Have you found any new characters you've fallen in love with? Love the show. Thanks for all you do.
So, Ochi is one of my favorite Nintendo characters from the Switch era, from Pikmin 4. He not only does he change the game, just his animations when he's happy and seeing all the Pikmin jump on him as he gets bigger, and it looks like this colorful palette. What is you used to throw the seeds like in the hair and used to grow that plant thing, and it would like make an afro. Which one?
Chia Pets?
Chia Pets, yeah. It kind of Ochi look kind of like that. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm getting old forgetting things. Thank you, Corey, for being my brain sometimes.
I remember the people were very concerned when the Barack Obama Chia thing came out, and people were like,
Chia
seems racist.
But yeah, Ochi, I super fell in love. Everyone from the Xenoblade Chronicles 3 cast, I truly love. The Cheshire Cat looking thing from Bayonetta 3 has me dying. Yeah, and I was just like, oh, shout out to Stephanie for getting me a Ochi Ochi plush. I cried. And got in touch with her and told her thank you. So once again, shout out to you, Stephanie. Thank you for the Ochi. I love him. But yeah, Shaz from Fire Emblem Three Houses, ultimate diva, icon, legend, mother. I don't care what anyone says. She is top tier, forever and always will be.
I have 3 versions of Shez and Fire Emblem Heroes.
Oh, I love her.
I wish she wasn't relegated to a side game.
Okay.
Yeah, because Shez is awesome. Yeah, Shez is on my list too. There's a lot of Fire Emblem characters on my list actually. And I know it's because I'm just in it right now, like hardcore. But I think the main cast of Three Houses specifically, I
Yeah.
really fell in love with. Byleth and Edelgard and Claude and Dimitri to a lesser extent, but that cast was really fun, and the way they kind of grew on each other and kind of it was a great cast of characters. So I really love that cast. Shez also from the Warriors game. 2B actually from Nier Automata. I know that's not a Nintendo game, but really, I mean, that I love that game.
Yeah. Nier Automata is so good.
So I really have enjoyed that. And then, I think this version of Zelda is my favorite version of Zelda.
Oh, yeah.
Like the character Zelda, not necessarily the game, but this version of Zelda is like so cool and so like it just like a real, she feels more real than the other games, right? Where she just feels like a character that's been thought out and fleshed out and feels like she's meaningful to the world instead of just like hiding in the shadows like in Twilight Princess, right? Like she's in it for like 15 minutes, right? And 12 of those minutes you're fighting her. Or Skyward Sword, she's like, she's a fun character in that, but she's like, she's important to the story, but she's not the story, right? Like
Zelda in Breath and Tears, like she has more character depth.
Yeah. And like I feel like the game is actually about her.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I mean, Link is your proxy to the world at that point, right? Like, I don't know. Zelda is an amazing character in that universe. And I'm gonna be really sad that the next game is not with these versions of these characters. Because I totally think you could expand them into another section of the world that's not Hyrule, right? But
I trust Anuma and the team to
I do
really
too.
to really knock us out, and I think that's what I like about the Zelda series: the changes when they do them.
Yeah,
and everything.
I think like obviously we've been seeing these versions of these characters since what 2014 is when Breath of the Wild was revealed, right? So
yeah,
we've been seeing them since then. We've seen them in two full games, the Warriors game, Smash Brothers, Mario Kart. Like these versions of these characters are everywhere, and it's like
I do wonder, could they bring Minna back to the series? And
I mean,
what would that do?
I mean, I would really love a Twilight Princess sequel, which has been kind of like that idea has been floating around for a while, but like, don't tease me with that. I can't.
I'm just saying if just that.
Dude, I was looking at that Midna statue on eBay the other day. The Final Form Midna statue. I really want it.
I think if that game get an HD/remaster, which would probably be Twilight Princess HD, if that game gets announced just for a regular Switch, it gets a release date, I I have a feeling that game is like definitely get the pre-orders and stuff. I think people are going to have a different opinion and a viewpoint of that game because I think they're finally going to get their hands on it and be like, "Oh, because you could do the GameCube version and the Wii version.
I
Like
mean
you can switch the controls."
the Wii U HD version has both versions on it.
Oh, okay. Then they would try to go with that one. I think more people will get something out of that game and just be like, yeah, I didn't play it on GameCube. I didn't get the Wii. I skipped the Wii U and stuff. I'm finally getting my hands on it because I think a lot of kids and parents who didn't introduce their kids to the Twilight Princess games or anything, I think they're going to get a new outlook of it and just be like, this is why it's held as one of the great Zelda games.
I think the big knock on that game, first of all, the tutorial at the beginning is not 3 hours. I don't know why people keep saying that it's 3 hours. It is not 3 hours.
Yeah.
It is not. It's like, first of all, you can get to the dungeon and beat the dungeon in less than 2 hours. So I don't know what people are talking about. But like, I think the big knock on that game, other than that, is like the dungeons are amazing. The filler content in between the dungeons is kind of a slog. And to an extent, I agree. I just am really invested in that game and love that game. So like, I kind of ignore that. But you know, like the content in between the dungeons is very, it's slow. I get it. But also it's like from a time, like it's from that era, you know, like mid 2000s plus Nintendo is slow to catch up on things anyway. So like
they was in a light and dark era.
yeah. I mean, you think about it, Twilight Princess, I know we got Wind Waker first, but like the first footage we saw of Twilight Princess was at Space World, right? And it was kind of like more Ocarina-ish.
Then it went through all the Zelda delays to become the game that
and then it came out on Wii first, and then the GameCube, and I bet I'm the only person that bought a Wii and played the GameCube version of that game on the Wii.
I didn't get my Wii. I got the GameCube. I still have my GameCube version, so I went because I got the GameCube version for Christmas. Before the Wii version, like I got the Wii version a little bit later. Because when I got my Wii, I got like Metro Prime 3 first before I got Twilight Princess.
The man, the GameCube box art for Twilight Princess is so, it's really clean because like the case is like that charcoal gray black. It's not quite black, but it's like that charcoal. It's got the GameCube thing at the top, but it doesn't have the orange or the purple only on GameCube thing because it came out on Wii also, obviously. And like, I just think that version of the box art is the cleanest box art I think I've ever seen. And like, it's just kind of like desaturated just a little bit. So like everything looks faded a little bit, but it's so good.
So yeah, like
I love Twilight Princess.
Monolith Soft going in and helping the Zelda team touch some things up or change some things. I think shoot.
I think we're gonna get Wind Waker first, though.
Yeah, because if we get Twilight before we get Wind Waker, I'd be like, Corey, we need to do an expansion pass.
I mean,
I'm trying to figure this out.
I'm okay with that, but I know I'm in the minority of that. But I want to note 2026 is the 20th anniversary of Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
So that's probably when we're going to get it.
Either way, the coins are coming. Nitty will get that coins. Now, now Twilight Princess has been like remade and upscaled to where it looks like Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, don't accuse me of that either.
Like a 60 frame lock.
That's the Wii U tech demo. That's that. Don't tease me with that, Ed.
I'm not trying to tease, but I'm just saying 60 frames, 1080p or 1440p remake of Twilight Princess or update, not remake, or remaster to Twilight Princess and like really put some work and detail to it, oh, and they want to
Yeah.
charge 70, you will get that 70. You don't think that mug is not going to sell?
Dude, you
Shoot.
you will get whatever price tag from me on that game. Just saying.
And you re-released the Wolf Amiibo
Mm.
coins. Just here, just coins. Give me that reused style looking box. Take these coins and give me this game in my my amiibo, and I'm going to take the week off and play that game.
Yep.
Oh, Nintendo sold 3 million in within 3 days, 2 days.
Oh.
Yeah.
Somebody comes over. Why is your basement full of copies of Twilight Princess? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Exactly. Keep that on the L.
Jeez. Yeah. So that's I guess that's where I'm at with that.
Sorry, KCDC.
Look, they signed up for this. Okay.
True.
So yeah, that's it for questions, Ed. I think that's another episode in the books for us.
All right. Well, everybody, final thoughts. Like I said, we are getting ready for PAX. Super excited for that. I really don't have much to say besides I need to get into my writings and everything, get that out. But hopefully people are enjoying the games that like Monster Hunter and stuff. And hopefully as we wait for April 2nd, I kind of hope that there isn't no leaks about the Switch 2 presentation. I hope they really keep it under wraps because I really want to be surprised on what they got to show.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited for that direct. Hopefully it's about 40 minutes. We get a good breakdown and stuff. So I'm super excited for what's to come with PAX East and with Switch 2. I actually gotta send Grayson a message. I wonder if he's going this year.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are actually skipping PAX East this year, from what I've heard. I know I've talked to a few people outside of Boss Rush, and they're like, it's in May. It's in a weird time, and people weren't accounting for that, and so they're not going, or they're taking other trips too close to that, or summer vacations, right? And I know a couple people are trying to go to Japan for TGS for the first time, so they're skipping PAX East to try to put money towards that, and
which is awesome.
Yeah, we need to go to Japan at some point.
TGS, yes. My thing would be just like I would love to run into some of the folks from A4 Play.
You
like
know what?
Mark McDonald. Go ahead.
Oh, you know what we should really do is we should take a trip down to Florida when Epic Universe opens and go to Super Nintendo World just to make content. I don't really care to go, but like it would be good content, and I know it would probably be fun when I got there. I just the videos make it look very claustrophobic and very scary.
We know you're a Disney king, a Disney dad.
I know. I'm very upset. My parents just got back from there.
Oh.
Today. We were supposed to go, but there's too many things that cut me from going. So.
But you guys are going in the future.
Oh yeah. At some point we are.
Because you already know, I got to see the blue milk. I got to see what new sandwich is. You already know. I'm like, you better send me the food pics.
Well, it's funny. I'll just use this for my final thought. So my parents got back, and I'm really jealous. But my dad got stopped at TSA because they brought home sandwiches for me. But they're long and oval shaped, and they're wrapped in foil. So in the X-ray machine, they look like long silver cylinders, which you know. So my dad got stopped by TSA, so I think that's funny.
Did you get your Earl sandwich though? Still?
They brought it home for me. I did not see them today, so it'll probably be tomorrow or Monday or some point. But yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, that's going to be it for Pow Block. Thank you for watching or listening to this episode of Nintendo Pow Block. Remember, you can find a new episode of this podcast every Monday morning on YouTube, podcast services as part of our free Patreon content and on our website at bossrush.net. If you enjoyed the discussions on today's episode, leave the video a like or a good rating on your podcast app. If you subscribe to our Patreon, you gain ad-free access, early access to Expansion Pass and Book Club, and exclusive access to Pow Block 1-Up. Thank you so much for watching and or listening. Have a great week, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time on Nintendo Pow Block. Bye, everybody. Woohoo!
Goodbye. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.